In Spain, groups such as this one have become an all too familiar sight. They've gathered to block the police from evicting this woman, Gloria Gallego, and her family from their house near Madrid. Gloria has stored all her belongings in this garage. If she gets evicted, the locks will be changed. She bought her house in 2005 at the height of the construction boom, just 3 years after moving here from Colombia. She had full-time work. Today she's unemployed. Gloria owes money to Bankia, one of the banks at the heart of Spain's financial crisis, and one set to get a bailout of at least 24 billion euros from the EU.
I owe more than 350,000 euros, more than the original mortgage I took out. Because at the beginning you pay mostly just the interest, and only little by little do you start paying back the capital. And what some people have told me who've been in a similar situation is that you end up with an even bigger debt, because you've not only the arrears, but lawyers' fees from the court. It's just more debt than when you started.
For the next 2 hours, the wait is long. Even if Gloria hands the keys to the bank, she's still responsible for her debt. And she knows that selling her house with the current economic crisis is almost impossible. Gloria! Gloria! Finally, the news is good. The court has decided to call off the eviction, at least for today. Gloria is lucky. In the past 3 years, 500,000 foreclosures took place in Spain, and the number is rising. This lawyer, who represents people like Gloria, worries the estimated 100 billion euro bailout to Spanish banks will make matters worse.
I think all this will make the banks even more intransigent, because now they'll be able to count on a financial support that they didn't have before because of the crisis. Maybe if they were in a more desperate financial situation, they'd be more flexible when negotiating. But now I don't think that they'll be ready to bend, because this injection of money into the banks will only help them to maintain this bubble that was created during the boom years. This won't help families facing eviction to find a solution.
For many Spaniards, the word bank has become synonymous with injustice. An injustice that during the housing boom, banks were lending to developers, then selling mortgages at inflated prices. And to add injury to insult, banks get bailed out by taxpayers while people get evicted from their homes. Spain's property landscape today is a far cry from the boom days, when developers built 800,000 units in the year 2007 alone. When the bubble burst, it was the banks who inherited most of the debt, an estimated 200 billion euros in toxic property assets. Today, there are some 1.3 million homes for sale in Spain, but the demand is estimated at 1/4 of that. This is Valdeluz, a 1-hour drive from Madrid. During the boom period, it was being hailed as the new suburban paradise, with nice housing, lots of amenities, and especially a quick commute to Madrid thanks to a high-speed train. But once the crisis hit, many of the 9,000 apartments either stood empty or were never finished. This is the mayor of Valdeluz. Here he shows us the train station that costs 18 million euros to build. He says there are trains, but either they don't stop, or if they do, they don't go to Madrid. For him, this empty platform is a symbol of the wasteful spending by regional governments and banks during the boom years.
This is the train we've been waiting for that never came. As you can see, it's a high-speed train station, which on top of that was paid for by European Union funds. It was supposed to be the first high-speed commuter train, and we've been waiting for it for 8 years now. As you can see, the platform is ready, the clocks are on time, even the extinguishers are ready, but no train stops here.
But in the past year, estate agencies, many representing banks who own property here, have decided not to wait for any train to start selling homes. Beatriz Blasquez has been an estate agent here for 8 years. She managed to pre-sell some homes before they were finished. Prices back then, of course, were high. Here she shows us a 3-bedroom duplex. The cost, 150,000 euros. That's less than half of the original asking price.
Prices here have gone down by about 70%. It depends on the apartment. You can find the same model, a 3-bedroom apartment, which ranges from 80 to 140 usable square meters. So the difference in size translates into a difference in price. But regarding the overall cost compared to 4 years ago, it's 70% less.
This is the only restaurant in Val-de-Luz. It's also a sign the bank's strategy to sell homes at half price is working. Dennis Kritsch bought an apartment here with his wife 6 years ago. He admits he's frustrated he paid more than twice the amount that people are paying today. But these prices are bringing in buyers, and last year he decided to open this restaurant.
Over the past 2 summers, I've seen more people outside, more cars parked in the streets, something I hadn't seen before. Before, you would be walking outside and maybe one car would drive by. Now you see lots of cars driving by. It's really a different feeling. We're still a little community. Everybody knows each other. It's a little like Sesame Street, but more and more people are moving in.
While low prices may be breathing new life into places such as Val-de-Luz, the concern is they create an artificial housing market that can't be sustained. Banks will finance those who want to buy, but only for their property, and they're doing it at a loss. Yet this banker believes the bailout used to recapitalize the banks could create a stable housing market in the long run.
Potential investors have their hands tied because housing prices in Spain don't reflect a real value. There isn't a real or transparent market price because the banks keep accumulating property stocks. So we think that the idea of the government to adjust the bank's balance sheets to fix a real property price is the first step in getting the housing market moving again.
This is Cesena and one of Spain's most notorious ghost estates. When the developers ran out of money 4 years ago, only 1/3 of the planned 13,000 apartments were completed, and many were empty. But what a difference a year makes along with the new bank policy. Today, prices have been slashed. In 1 week alone, 500 apartments were sold. This young couple just put a deposit on a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house that has a swimming pool in the complex. The cost, 115,000 euros.
Before coming here, we didn't know what to think about this place. It's true that there aren't as many amenities as there are in Madrid, but it's not far and, well, just 4 kilometers away you have another town with pharmacies and schools. But it's especially the price that sold us.
The next day, Gloria has put back her belongings. She's been told she can stay until October. She's hoping to negotiate a deal where the bank takes back the house, but she stays and pays them a rent she can afford. But nothing is certain. And for Gloria, like her mother, there is a moral to this story.
Trust the banks? I don't think so. The truth is, I'd rather put my money under the mattress than in a bank.